Hi guys, and welcome to part 2, and in this video we will disassemble the chronograph components. Here is a diagram showing the location of the eccentric adjusting screws, and these are the screws that ideally don't want to be touched during the disassembly or reassembly. So we've already released the mainspring power in the previous one. The first item to be removed is the flyback lever spring, and as previously explained, that particular spring is not the correct one, although it does do the job. And we then go ahead and remove the operating lever and the flyback lever. The operating lever takes a little bit of wiggling to get it out from underneath the hammer, as you can see there. Here I'm refitting the fastening screws, which I do throughout the rest of the disassembly procedure, because unlike a watch movement where lots of like screws are used, with chronograph components you tend to get a large variety of different ones. So to avoid confusion, the easiest thing to do is to refit the securing screws after removing the components. You'll notice on the flyback lever as well that the securing screw for that particular one is a left-handed thread, denoted by the 3 lines on the screw head. Next item to be removed is the winding stem, and then tighten up the setting lever screw just to make sure that that doesn't come adrift during the disassembly process. And then the chronograph pushers are removed by just drawing them out from the plate like so. This component is the mounted coupling clutch. This is the component that connects the drive wheel on the extended 4th wheel pivot with the chronograph runner for the centre seconds hand. And next to be removed once the securing screw is refitted, of course. We remove the driving wheel, which is on the extended 4th wheel pivot, and here I'm using a pair of hand removing levers with thin tips, which allow me to get right in underneath there. You could probably get away with using a pair of screwdrivers, but you would have to be very, very careful, because pressure to lever this up needs to be even from both sides to avoid bending or damaging that pivot. Next for removal is the hammer spring. This particular spring is quite a strong one and is under quite a bit of tension, and it's located in place by two studs either side of the securing screw, and I end up removing this one, as you'll see in just a moment, by holding the spring itself and levering under the mounting position and to get that to lift away, and holding the spring made sure that, as you can see, it's under quite a bit of tension there when it pops up, and that's just to make sure that the spring didn't ping away. And there you can see the hammers will now move freely. So we refit the securing screw for the spring and then remove the hammers. This is the part that bears on the heart of the chronograph runner and minute wheel runner and reset them to the 0 position. Next up is the chronograph bridge, and this is the part that secures the chronograph runner and the minute wheel recording runner, and once this is removed it allows you to see the hearts on the chronograph runner and the minute recording runner. Both of these runners are removed very carefully by drawing them straight up, much like you would with a centre seconds hand. And here I'm just using a pair of number 5 fine point tweezers to hold the screw while I get the thread started as I resecure that. This item is the mounted sliding gear, which connects the chronograph runner with the minute recording runner. And there I've just relieved tension on the spring by lifting it clear before unscrewing it. And this is the coupling clutch spring, and following removal of this and replacement of its mounting screw, we remove the coupling clutch base plate. Apologies if I am slightly incorrect on some of these names, because I'm just going from memory of the names as they were labelled on the disassembly procedure, which wasn't followed exactly to the letter, but near enough as regards the essential and important components. And the part that you just saw there that looked like a watch hand was the friction spring for the centre, for the chronograph runner. And with removal of the coupling clutch spring and sliding gear springs, that completes the disassembly of the chronograph movement. So the final securing screw is replaced, and that's the entirety of the chronograph components disassembled and put aside ready for cleaning. Oh, my apologies, the one component I haven't yet removed, because I was considering leaving that on to see if I could maybe salvage that. I have actually sourced a replacement now, but that's the minute recording jumper spring, so I go ahead and remove that. And the lower screw there, as explained with some of the others, is an eccentric, and that's left in place. So this particular part won't be reused as it's damaged. And with that, the chronograph components are fully disassembled. So that's it for this video. Join us in the next one, where we will go through the disassembly of the movement, and then a general clean and reassemble to establish running condition. Thanks for watching.